Sevyn Streeter, what's happening, mama?
What's good, my guy? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, we still in this damn quarantine, but I'm kind of ready for the summer though, because you got a new album coming out, and I think the streets are ready to hear it.
Man, I'm so excited for the summer. I feel like we might be outside a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting hot outside. I want all the girls dancing and having a good time. So yes, I'm very excited about Drunken Words.
Now let me ask you about this pandemic. How has the pandemic treated you over the past year, Sevyn?
You know what? I think that we all kind of went through kind of the same ranges of emotions. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah.
Alone, missing your friends, missing your family. I think it was pretty much the same as everybody else. And I think we just tried to fill your time with as much productivity as you could. I meditated more than I ever have. Prayed.
Yo, I just started meditating too, 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, Sevyn, help me though, because I fall asleep during meditation sometimes.
Person, that's kind of crazy. 6 a.m. you be up?
Well, I get on the call with my mental wellness coach and we do it together. But I have this thing where sometimes I fall asleep during the meditation.
I mean, technically, sleep is a form of meditation.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. But for me, sleep is a form of meditation, okay?
Right.
Disease in the Lord, okay? I'll be locked in, sleeping and meditating. God, thank you, appreciate it. I appreciate this sleep. Thank you.
Period. Look, I've been following you on social media, and I see kind of how you use your platform to talk about the social unjust that we have been going through inside of our community. Of course, from the case with Breonna Taylor over the summer, and now we're on day 8 of the trial of Derek Chauvin, the ex-cop who killed George Floyd. Where do you stand with that as a Black woman in America?
Man, put that man all the way up under the jail. I need every type of repercussion ever possible to go down. I think that we're all praying for the same justice. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's just where me and my family been with it. On our knees, praying day and night that justice is served, because a lot of times it just does not happen for us.
Right. And Sevyn, I actually saw some footage of you too. You had to be 9 or 10 years old at the Apollo. And first of all, do you remember that night? And do you remember the dress that your parents put you in?
That dress, I'm not gonna ever forget that dress. I damn my mama every time I go home for that dress. Okay.
Right.
But no, I definitely remember it was yesterday. I mean, it was my first time on an airplane. I was 10 years old, my first time in New York. So it was just a good time. And Apollo was such a, legendary place. And Steve Harvey was the host at the time. And,
right.
Grew up watching it, so it's great to be there.
And I'm guessing that dress kind of equates to where you're from and how deep, your family is rooted inside the church.
Oh God, listen here. I'm still in the church. I go home right now. My aunt's my pastor. She gonna say, we got Sister Streeter in the.
It's a Sister Streeter for me.
Sister Streeter gonna give us a solo. I'll be like, okay, But I grew up in church. I was in a doctor with all of my cousins. When we were young, teenagers, and we just went from church to church to church singing we thought we was Kirk Franklin and the family. Our FUBU jerseys and stuff. It was
right. So what was that process like growing up in the church with your family and now being the Sevyn Streeter that we know today in 2021? She's talking about her sexuality, she's talking about her emotions and just real life as a whole.
I just think that I come from a very real family. My family's full of ministers, pastors, and deacons, and all that good stuff. But I love them wholeheartedly because they allow me to be myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a young woman. I'm growing. I'm learning every single day, and I don't apologize for who I am and how I feel. And
right.
I have people in my life who, they support me. And so yeah.
Was there anything that you found out new about yourself during the quarantine that you didn't know prior to, being locked up in the crib?
Is there anything I found out? Let's see. What did I find out about myself? I mean, I've always known that I was pretty good at being a loner, but I didn't really realize that I was a professional until this quarantine kicked in, and people were like, oh my God, I gotta be home. I got it. And I'm just like,
listen, I think we're in the same boat because quite frankly, when the pandemic started, I was so upset about being at home. Like I wanted to be out in these streets and, you know what I mean, just running the streets like everyday life. But since the pandemic, I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoy being at the crib all day, every day. I got my food there. I got my drink there. And I got my little, whatever else I do to turn up. Do you feel me?
Yes. Yeah. I got into painting a little bit.
Yeah.
More, you know, it was just like, well, what do you feel like? What do you feel like doing today?
Yeah.
And whatever that was, I kind of dove into it. So that was really cool. I learned, I just kind of learned to give myself room and space to explore new shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, during this pandemic, of course, one of the things that you've been promoting is your new album that's coming, Drunken Words and Sober Thoughts. Now, first of all, over this past weekend, I went out and I sent out a few drunk texts. But then the next day, I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. The sober thoughts.
Listen, so your sober thoughts kicked in the next morning?
The next morning, I was like, you know what? Don't even respond back to that text.
That's usually how it goes, okay? Listen, ain't nothing wrong with it. You got a little liquid courage, you know, in your system, and you send it's nothing wrong with it. Now, did you wake up and did you regret the?
Did I regret the text? Well, you know what happened, you know what I mean? After you've had too many drinks, you get home at 2 a.m. in the morning and you start feeling that loneliness, and you know how it goes, Sevyn.
I know exactly. Listen, I mean, I wrote a whole album about the shit. I do understand. Yeah. I get it. But, you know, I mean, Drunken Words Sober Thoughts for me, it's like, you know, when we think about it, it's like, oh my God, like, you know, somebody got a little bit of liquid courage and they said some things that would, you know, we felt like, you know, if you look for courage, you tell the truth. But I feel like it's just, it takes on a whole other life too for me. Like you can be on the influence of so many different things, like love, lust, and heartbreak, and loneliness, and you know, under the influence of a lie, and it'll cause you to you know, act a little bit out of your character, and then you the next morning and you be like, oh. Yeah, I really did that. So I love it for that reason, because I was able to kind of tap into different, different stories within that for the project.
Now, was there a date that you picked to the album yet?
Listen, like y'all not gonna hit me up because my fans be upside my head, ready to cuss me out. They be like, "You said," but no, I will say this: summer. They will definitely have.
Okay, now, Sevyn, let me just tell you, my birthday is June the 6th. Your birthday is July the 7th. I think this would be a really dope, you know what I mean, birthday gift to yourself to drop your album on 7/7. That's all I'm saying, though.
So you looking out for me.
I'm looking out for you.
It would be. It really would be. I mean, I've done it before. I put projects out on my birthday. Yeah. And I'm not opposed to doing it again. I mean, I think it's a great day, 7/7.
Oh no, absolutely. So, you know, like, what type of feel do you think that we're gonna get off of this album? Like, I think I'm looking for something that we can play in, like, you know, the day parties. We can play throughout the day with the windows down when it's 80, 90 degrees outside. But then we also need something for the late nights too.
It's a little bit of everything. I think, you know, when I do projects, I think about people in every aspect of their life. Like, I think about, you know, people who are heartbroken, and I want to make sure they have something to comfort them. I think about people that's, you know, at a day party and they like 7 shots in. They like, okay, let's go. Take it up to another level. I need a record for them. You know what I mean? You know, them late lonely nights when you make them phone calls and you be like, hey, what you doing? You know, pull up. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I got a record for you too. So I just like to find and to create music just for your life, like, you know, no matter the circumstance. Like,
and one of the records that we're playing, like, I mean, literally this song plays at least 4 times during my show a day. Guilty, A$AP Ferg, Chris Brown, of course, the Queen, Sevyn Streeter. Sevyn, what was it like writing that record and then getting these guys to collab with you?
Well, you know what? I say this all the time. People think because I write, you know, the majority of my stuff that I have to write everything. I did not write all of Guilty. And
that's out of here.
No, I love when records get sent to me and it's like, oh, that spoke to my soul. Like, that record was sent to me by Spice, who's actually Chris's cousin. So Spice sent me that record, and he had some really amazing creatives. Like, they went in, he sent me a batch, and that was just the one that I loved. And I wanted some male energy on it because, you know, Big Payback, the James Brown flip, I just heard it, you know, be flipped so many times, and like every time it had this energy to it, and so I wanted a New York hip hop presence on it. I love what Ferg did, and then I wanted a guy, like a guy vocal that was like really gonna just sing the hell out of it. And who's gonna sing that better than Chris? Like,
and you know, you and Chris Brown go like all the way back to like 2013 on your debut album. Like, how did that relationship start?
It started with writing, truth be told. I was just with him at first, and it went from me writing with him to me, you know, being his artist and doing more records together, and you know, it turned into just some beautiful ass music and a lot of just lessons that I learned. So that opened up a lot of doors. So that's kind of where it started.
And you know, talking about the record Guilty, is there any guilty pleasures that you have for yourself?
Maybe you'd like to know. I have quite a few guilty pleasures. I mean,
let me hear your top three. Your top three.
Top three, seafood, because here I can eat a shit ton of seafood. Bad Boys. I do like me a bad boy. That's a guilty pleasure. Like a slick talking, you know, like, you know, Spark, go back on some fun shit though. Spark,
let's pause real quick though, because your fans have been asking on social media, like, who is this quarantine babe? Who is that bad boy that you hung out with during the quarantine, Sevyn? You already know I was gonna ask.
Listen here. I am in a dating. I'm dating. Okay, it's fun. I think that it's important for women to date. I don't think that we hear, you know, that narrative be put enough. I think that, like, you know, men, they have the freedom. Y'all can date whoever you want and get to know people. And it's just like, I think that more women should date and have more conversations and, you know, go to dinner or go to a park and just kind of figure out what it is like. So that's the space that I'm in. I'm just learning. I'm learning a few different people. Okay.
Yeah. So your guilty pleasure, seafood, Bad Boys, and then that third one.
What's my third guilty pleasure?
And while you're thinking, let me grab mine real quick too.
Hey, let me see yours. What's yours?
Sevyn, you can't talk about me though. You cannot talk shit.
I'm not gonna talk shit.
Okay, here we go. Now I love these things. Like, so these are the Pop-Tarts, the confetti cupcake flavor. Ooh. If you haven't tried these things are bomb as hell.
That sounds fire. I'm not gonna lie. We had a toaster strudel conversation the other day.
For real?
We were, because I love Pop-Tarts, but I'm really a toaster strudel girl.
See, I love Pop-Tarts, but I have to have it in the microwave. I don't want a toaster. Like, I put it in the microwave. Yeah.
Soft, like a little.
That's me. So look, here's my second guilty pleasure. Okay. The goldfish, but it's not just your regular goldfish. So it got like the extra cheddar.
Oh my God, you like my assistant. She loves goldfish.
And like, you see, I got the large box. I take this everywhere with me, Sevyn. And then here's something that I really want you to try though, for real. The dried mangoes. I'm not sure if you see because of light, but the dried mangoes.
I never had dried mangoes.
Let me tell you, if you smoke you a good, get you a shot of tequila, because I know you love tequila.
Yes.
This right here, busting, for real.
So dried mangoes.
Dried mangoes.
Tequila and a J. That's the period.
You gotta try it for real.
I'm really gonna try. You can play. I'm really gonna try it.
Yo. So look, Sevyn, I have to ask you, because you're now independent artist, and I want to know, like, at what moment in your career did you, you know, determine that you wanted to be your own boss?
That's a great question. Yeah. I think that growing up in this industry, I think you always really want to you know, be hands-on with all of your business. You really want that. I think that you know, throughout the years, you learn different things from different situations and different labels and different you know, managers and different all these different people. So I think that gradually is something that gradually happens. And then for me, you know, being independent now, I'm starting to realize how much just the years of being around really dope executives and managers, labels. Like I was able to go, oh, I remember that time when they did that, and that was smart. So let me maybe apply it to what I'm doing now, remix it a little bit so that it still feels like me. But I think that to answer your question, just being a boss and really taking care of your business, I think it's just a accumulation of things that you've learned along the way and applying them, to where you are now and remixing it a little bit and making it. But that's where I am, and it feels really, really great.
Absolutely. I love it. Now, Sevyn, we are getting ready to wrap up, but I want to play a game with you before we go. But talk to our independent artists real quick, because I was talking with a few of my radio friends. Why do you think it's so important that you stay connected to the radio stations, that you stay connected to the PDs?
Well, I think that anyway, it's a person. So it's like, it's more than just being the radio and the PDs. These are people. It's like, I believe in having as real, connections and relationships with people as you can. And I think that as much as I love our DSPs, I love a good DSP, I love a good playlist, that's amazing. But people be in their cars every day, you know what I mean? Travel to and fro.
Absolutely.
And, going from their job to their house, to their house, to their church to hang with their people. So it's like they spend a lot of time in their cars. And that, I think that that's a really special moment, you know what I mean? So I think that people like to say, oh, radio is dead. Never will radio ever be dead to me, because that's a real thing for for people every single day. Like that's where they hear our voices. That's where they, long day at work, they drive home. Like it's just a real thing. And I think it's a special relationship, and it's a special place that I think radio has in people's hearts. So for me, my relationship with, you who play my record and the PD put the record in, it's a people person thing. You know what I mean? If I can really go deeper.
And honestly, like a lot of artists don't do that, but because of that, like today, I'm gonna play everything from I Like It to Don't Stop, Guilty, you know what I mean? And whatever else you send me, I'm gonna play that too. Because honestly, this business is all about the relationships, for real, for real.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's everything.
Yeah. All right, Sevyn. So this game is 7 seconds with Sevyn Streeter. So this is where I'll give you a word, and then you either got to make up a song because you're a songwriter, or you got to sing a song, and you got 7 seconds to do it. And all I need is a small line, just a small line.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Your very first word is stop.
And it won't stop. Can I sing my own stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's the melody for me. Listen, all right. So you're a church girl. So the second word is altar.
Altar?
Yeah.
You know what I was about to sing? Take me to the water. Take me to the water. Altar.
Or the other one is meet me at the altar.
Come on now. Listen, that ain't. I don't think my deacon gonna let me sing that in church. No, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it.
Hey.
Yes. Come on now.
Love it. Okay, Sevyn. The last word is it's only right. QL. QL, use a QT. I'm trying to meet up. I don't know. I don't know. But I do. My girl, Sevyn Streeter. Listen, we love you down here in Greenville, Sevyn.
Same, man. I can't wait for us to get, outside, so I can actually visit and we can go eat and have a good time and that whole vibe,
Yes, yeah. Well, much success to you, Sevyn. When you come down here in Greenville, we gotta link up for real.
We do. And you gotta tell me what all the good food spots are.
Oh, you already know I got you. And I bring you the dried mangoes too.
Dried mango, yeah.
Congratulations to Sevyn, and thank you so much for chiming in with me, Mama.
So much. You have a good one.